Storytelling, more than anything, is possibly the most important subject when it comes to writing. Media, such as books, movies, news, always have a goal, and that is to either inform or explain events from real life or the imagination of one's mind. I made a career, in a way, of explaining the stories that were given to us by the many creative minds from a certain platform. Enter Source Filmmaker into your search bar, and you will see animations that are endless. Valve, the creator of Source Filmmaker, really made something special for a lot of people. Unfortunately, Valve abandoned Source Filmmaker, leaving us with a very glitchy and buggy mess that has turned people away from what was supposed to be great. But there were some people who didn't give up. I have talked previously on this channel on others who have already worked hard to push out something truly exceptional. But there's one that has caught my eye recently. Meet Abby SFM, a SFM YouTuber with talent I can only wish to have. Her series is called Old Memories, a series I am willing to experience for the first time. I wonder what wonders it will foretold. A little warning for you, I will be explaining the entirety of Season 1. So I recommend watching Old Memories first before watching me explain it. If you stay, then I must tell you this: everything I tell you, I cannot untell you. Grab a snack and grab a drink, because my name is Dr. Springlock, and guys and gals, welcome to Old Memories Explained. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, known throughout FNAF history as the first animatronics. Fredbear's Family Diner was a place where they entertained those who entered. One night though, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie were in power down mode. A man who hates his job is the night guard for the week. 1 hour later, Fredbear wakes up and also wakes up Spring Bonnie. Fredbear notifies Spring Bonnie that it is now 1 a.m. and the duo start to make their way to the night guard. Then a music video featuring the song called Born a Rockstar plays as the montage music. The end of it shows Spring Bonnie waking up an unconscious Fredbear. Fredbear explains to Spring Bonnie that he had a bad dream about a puppet animatronic. Then the puppet shows himself to the two. The puppet then explains everything that went down ever since. The bite on the child, the 5 children. The puppet also aggressively says that they can no longer perform. Spring Bonnie and Fredbear come to the conclusion that the puppet is not trustworthy and suspicious. The puppet then is greeted by a bunch of screaming animatronics in the main party room. The puppet makes his presence known and explains to the animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, that they were murdered and now they are robots. Spring Bonnie and Fredbear now plan their complete return, of course, without anyone knowing. Later, after they all settle down, they all wake up and start to explore the place. Bonnie then spots the night guard in the office. He then gathers the others to confirm his discovery. Freddy believes it's best to talk to the night guard, so he walks towards him. Freddy tries to engage in a conversation with the night guard, but it's all in vain. The night guard is too afraid to Freddy to even say anything, even go as far as to lash out at Freddy with physical contact.
Did you just think what you...
Freddy returns noticeably upset and walks away. Everyone else continues their day except Bonnie, who notices the parts and services room. Bonnie walks in and calls out to anyone who is present in the room. Spring Bonnie and Fredbear hide behind the wall until Fredbear's jaw falls off, causing him to scream. Bonnie hears it and starts walking towards Spring Bonnie and Fredbear, but to Spring Bonnie's fortune, Chica calls for Bonnie and he leaves. Spring Bonnie angrily questions Fredbear. Fredbear then shows his current state. Spring Bonnie then suggests that they should find something to fix it. Immediately after, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie exit the room. Spring Bonnie wants the both of them to sneak and avoid any detection. Fredbear protests and wants to meet with the puppet. Spring Bonnie, though, demands Fredbear to not do this. Fredbear ignores him, and Spring Bonnie, without any knowledge, awakens a power and accidentally shoots an attack at Fredbear, putting him offline, possibly permanently. Spring Bonnie then snaps out of it and instantly regrets what he has done. The puppet investigates and sees Fredbear laying on the ground. He moves towards him to check his status. The puppet then sees a grieving Spring Bonnie and goes to check on him as well. But BAM! Spring Bonnie grasps on the puppet's neck and starts choking him. Slowly, life was flashing from the puppet's optics. Then boom! Someone hits Spring Bonnie with a shovel, saving the puppet. Spring Bonnie regains his composure and sees Freddy and the others backing up the puppet. Freddy begins to question the situation. Spring Bonnie comes up with a reason and calls Fredbear his brother. Freddy grasps the situation and negotiates. Freddy says, and I quote, "We will fix your brother. In return, you must not harm any of us." Spring Bonnie reluctantly agrees and shakes on it, solidifying their alliance. Spring Bonnie questions the recent power he has gotten after going back to the parts and services, and feels a lot more powerful. Spring Bonnie decides to wait for a moment to commit possibly a sinister action. The puppet takes the others to the other room and thanks them for saving his life. After that, Puppet wants to confirm if any of the animatronics have memories from before. To no avail, of course. Puppet then starts to give Fredbear a new body. While they wait, the others pass the time by doing a musical. Later, Puppet finishes with Fredbear and calls the others. Fredbear then wakes up and questions everybody. The puppet yells in shock at the unfortunate news that Fredbear's memories are now gone. The puppet wants to confirm that he heard correctly about Fredbear's current memory status. Fredbear, of course, confirms the puppet's misfortune. Later at night, Bonnie comforts an unsure and grieving Chica, and their bond grows ever stronger. The next day, Spring Bonnie goes to Fredbear and asks if he remembers him. Fredbear tells Spring Bonnie that it's no use. Spring Bonnie's thirst for revenge creeps in, and then he manipulates Fredbear into doing his bidding. He then commands Fredbear to kill the puppet. Fredbear leaps onto the puppet, and the screams alert the others. They come into the location to see an awful sight. Fredbear, with no hesitation, jumps in and fights Fredbear. Spring Bonnie then ambushes Bonnie and puts him out of commission, but Chica steps in but is swiftly defeated. Freddy is able to hold his own and questions Fredbear. Fredbear explains that what he heard was the reason why he attacks, explaining that the puppet was responsible for their recent fate. Freddy convinces Fredbear that everything he was told was a lie, a false truth, a deception. Fredbear then confronts Spring Bonnie and then says, "Is it true? Was this all a lie?" Spring Bonnie, though, feels guilty, clenches his fist and grins. And BAM! Spring Bonnie punches Fredbear right through the torso, presumably killing him. Everyone still functioning is shocked by what they saw. A betrayal with no redemption. Freddy knows that he has to do and attacks Spring Bonnie only to be easily beaten. Foxy tries to step in, but Spring Bonnie far exceeds him in intellect and takes him down as well. Spring Bonnie then looms over a weakened puppet and says this: "I'm not done with you yet. You're so full of it, believing you can save those children. Looks like you are helpless without your new friends. You pathetic piece of crap." The puppet did not like this trash talk, so he used what power he had left to thrust Spring Bonnie enough to make him fly to a wall, knocking him out for good. Now every animatronic is offline, unable to go on. 2 years later, it shows that the animatronics have been discontinued, and now new ones have taken center stage. That was the end of Season 1 of Old Memories. That is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more explained videos, let me know in the comment section below. Like the video and help me reach 1,000 subscribers, since we are so close. Do I deserve it? Not my call to make. It's your call. Only you can decide that. Until next time, this is Dr. Springlock signing off.